Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cognitive Recalibration Podcast. As always, I'm your host Shravan. We got Taran here with us.
Hey everyone.
The Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars is back.
It is.
We watched the movie yesterday.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, last night. Late last night.
Yes.
I was quite tired actually. I got home at like 1. Yeah, it was very draining and tiring. But we'll talk about what we thought of the movie. I thought I'd whipped up a Star Wars Who Am I? Before we get into the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see if you get this one. It's not a very hard one.
Okay, Han Solo.
No.
Oh, close.
I was a female stormtrooper and the captain of the First Order. I grew up as a member of the clan on nuclear-ravaged world of Parnassus. I was a formidable warrior who became the clan's military leader. Seeking passage off-world, I helped the First Order General Hux find his ship in the process of betraying my own brother Keldo and the clan. After being rescued, I joined the First Order, abandoning my former life on Parnassus. I am 2 meters tall and weigh 76 kilograms. Who am I?
Sorry, I was taking a drink.
Yes.
It's hot.
It's very hot.
It's hot here in Melbourne.
It's like 45 degrees here. And you've got like a massive...
It's a jug, yeah.
Yeah, like a massive... It's not even a jug. It's like a...
What, a jar?
Yeah, it's a jar.
Like
it's like a...
What you put jam in.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a massive one.
Like a lot of jam, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you used to use it for?
Nah.
No.
I don't know why we have that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You got to stay hydrated.
I guess so, yeah.
It's hot here in Melbourne, but it's about to get a lot hotter on this podcast.
Yes, because when you talk about Star Wars,
It always gets hot.
the temperature always increases.
Yes.
Especially the last couple of movies. So
Should we have the police on standby just in case? Or ambulance? Everything? We'll have everything on standby.
we'll
Yeah.
Just have 000 on
I have it
speed
ready to
dial.
go. Yeah.
A little bit of background about this movie before we jump into it.
I have notes. Just
For
want everyone
once.
to know.
For
I have
once,
notes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you actually have more notes than me for this one.
I wrote down lots of stuff.
You wrote down straight after you got home, right? At
Yeah.
like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was released on 16th of December. It's directed by J.J. Abrams, everyone's favorite director.
He's not bad. I like J.J. Abrams. Oh, shit. Sorry. I'm making too much noise today. I like J.J. Abrams. I like most of his movies.
Do you like Star Trek Into the Darkness?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not the worst. It's not amazing, but it's not the worst.
Name one cast member from this movie.
From this movie?
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley.
Okay. Name another one.
John Boyega.
All right. Name one that wasn't in the previous movies.
Kerry Russell? Is she in this movie? Is it Kerry Russell?
Yeah, she's in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Kerry Russell.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got all the cast returning from the previous.
What was the point of that question? What were you?
I was testing your Star Wars knowledge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but who's the first name that comes up?
When I'm thinking of people in this movie
In this movie.
that are not in previous
in the
movies.
Credits, who's the first name that comes up?
Who's the first name that comes up?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
No.
First name. Is it Ian
No.
No.
It's Carrie Fisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's dead.
And then it's Mark Hamill, and then it's Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Anthony Daniels. Who's Naomi Aki?
She's that black chick on the Death Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that in. That's a new character. You should have said her name.
I didn't know her name. I definitely didn't know her name.
But they're all back.
Yes, Naomi Aki's back. Is that her name?
Yes.
I immediately forgot it after you said it.
What's Rose's name?
Rose Tico.
That's not a real name. No, what's the actor's name?
What's the actor's name?
Yeah.
No idea.
It's Kelly Marie Tran. That's her name.
Mm.
But anyway, that's enough of the introduction. One last thing. What do you think this movie is going to make opening weekend in US and Canada, North America?
We'll probably still make a decent amount.
So they're predicting it's going to do 215 million opening weekend.
Yeah, probably around that much.
Which is quite a big number. I think.
And then it'll drop off.
It will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we give away too much,
I think it'll probably still make $1 billion.
it might struggle. Let's see. It depends on how much everyone likes it. We can tell you how much we like it, though. So before we jump into our thoughts on it, what was the story of this movie?
Nah, stuff it. I don't want to go through the story. We'll do it in spoilers.
So you can't.
It's Star
the story?
Wars. No, it's Star Wars. That's the story.
So Last Jedi happened, and then
this movie happens.
and then this movie happens. Yeah, and stuff happens. Kylo Ren's doing stuff, and then Rey's doing stuff, and then everyone
John
else
Boyega's doing stuff as well.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac is
He's doing stuff.
Yeah.
BB-8
BB-8's
doing stuff.
rolling around as usual. He gets a friend,
Name another character in this movie.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. He's doing stuff.
He's definitely doing stuff.
Should we just do this for the rest of the review? Just
Okay.
name all the characters.
So we'll do non-spoilers first. So if you haven't seen the movie, please do keep listening because we're not going to spoil anything. Non-spoilers, high level. Positives, I think the cast was pretty good with what they had. They
Especially Naomi Aki.
Yeah, she was extraordinary. With what they had, they did a pretty good job. Visuals were quite good. It's probably what's expected, but in terms of Star Wars movies, this is slightly different. In terms of visuals, there's a little bit less desert and more water in this movie.
Yeah.
There's still desert.
There's some cool planets.
Yeah, there's some cool planets, and you explore a little bit more of the Star Wars universe, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. Music is always pretty good. John Williams does a good job. He always has for like the last 50 years or whatever.
Yeah, how old's that bloke?
He must
Pretty
be really
old,
old.
yeah.
Anything else? Did you have any positives that I haven't said yet?
Let me look at my notes. I think most of my stuff is spoilers, so probably not, because I just put spoilers down. I'll just go through it all in spoilers. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah, but pretty much what you said. Yeah.
Okay.
The one that I had was music was good.
I got some negatives. Again, it's non-spoiler negatives. So I thought it was a little bit disjointed, a bit choppy. Editing was a bit all over the place. So in Star Wars, you get the wipes, or whatever, across the screen. There's like
voice towelette wipes.
Yes.
Yeah, across the screen to make it more clear.
Exactly. Yeah, because
but they didn't clear it properly in this one
because of all the sand.
Yeah, it gets on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to wipe it every now and then.
Yeah.
And this one, I think
they cheaped out on the budget. They were using the premium ones. They were using like Coles brand.
Yeah. So they weren't using like handy ultra paper
no.
towels. They were using like the
it was Coles brand, home brand
ones.
Yeah,
home brand ones that like fall apart when you just touch them.
Yeah.
Pretty much tissues.
Anyway, too many wipes.
Too many wipes. Yeah, way too many. I think there was way too many transitions in this movie. Another thing,
especially the first maybe the first 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like way too many wipes. And even after that, there's too many. It's better, but it's too many.
Secondly, the plot is a little bit convoluted.
I think the plot is simple, but shit. It's simple plot. If you think about it, it's a very simple plot. I thought about it a lot last night. There's not much to it, but the way they go about it is not good. If you simplify the plot to what it is,
I think the first half an hour, they had to do some stuff to get to the rest of the movie. They had to do some setup, even though they had 2 movies before this. They had to do some setup within this movie for the rest of the movie.
But that wasn't plot. That was just setup. And that was shoehorned in.
Anyway, we'll talk about it more in spoilers. But I thought there was a lot happening in this movie for not much actually happening in this movie.
Yeah. There's not much to the movie at all. It's very simple.
We'll talk about Last Jedi versus this versus Force Awakens, all of that stuff later.
Versus prequels.
Versus all of them. Pacing was definitely off. There was like parts in the middle where I don't know if it was just because I was tired, but it just felt really boring.
I think that was part of it. Was we were pretty tired when we watched this movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think the pacing was terrible, but the editing is terrible.
Yes.
Which makes the pace seem weird.
And I thought the action wasn't that great.
I thought there was a good lightsaber scene, actually.
There was, there was some, but
overall,
not great.
Not great. There was one scene that I liked.
We'll talk about it more in
the whole movie. There was one scene I liked.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm joking. There was more.
There were scenes that I liked, not because they were good, but just because they were funny for all the wrong reasons.
I read this review, and the headline sums up this movie to the T, I reckon. The headline was, a mostly terrible movie with some good parts. And I think that's it. It's mostly terrible, and then it's got like 3 or 4 good parts in it.
We watched it with 4 other people.
Yeah.
5 other people. And we're pretty much split. Like some people, half of them actually did like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, saying that this is our personal opinion. This is not.
Yeah. No, this is the opinion. This is
in my personal opinion, this is a shit movie.
Yeah.
This is a very bad movie.
Okay. Objectively, this is not good.
You can't make that statement without.
Objectively, yeah, completely objectively. Other stuff I had was it tries to do a bit of fan service. I don't think it really worked in this movie. Like some of it
I'll
did.
go through. I have a bit about that later as well.
Some of it did, but some of it really didn't. But yeah, as you can tell, we've got a lot of negatives about this movie.
It's hard to talk about really without going into spoilers.
Yeah, so
but essentially, we don't like this movie. I don't like it, and you don't like it.
So
I
especially
liked
didn't
it. Like it.
I liked Last Jedi better than this. I liked Force Awakens better than this. The only movie that I like less than this movie is probably
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, probably Attack of the Clones.
Han Solo.
Han Solo's just
Han Solo,
boring.
the Solo movie. Look, let's exclude.
But if I had to watch one of these movies, if I had to watch Solo or this movie, I'd probably watch this movie because Solo's just boring.
I can't really remember Solo, to be honest.
Yeah.
But let's ignore Rogue One and Solo. Yeah, they're not
I think the only ones
main trilogy movies.
Yeah, so the main Star Wars movies, the only ones that are probably worse than this for me are Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
I saw Attack of the Clones recently.
And it's bad.
It's bad, yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
I saw a bit of Phantom Menace recently. Lightsaber fight at the end of Phantom Menace.
It's pretty good. And the pod racing?
No. I don't like it anymore.
Oh.
I liked it as a kid. I don't like it anymore.
And the performance of young Anakin Skywalker?
Oh, I didn't like that as a kid or now either. I never liked that and never will like it.
But there is still some good stuff in that movie. Like, Obi-Wan's good.
I think the acting is miles better in these movies than it was in those movies. Except for Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor does a good job. Everyone else does terrible.
Qui-Gon was alright.
Debatable. Ewan McGregor does a good job in all three movies.
Yoda was good.
Yoda's like a CGI character, man. It's not real at all in those movies.
If we don't have anything non-spoilers, we can jump into spoilers in a second. We'll give our ratings.
Shit.
That's not one of our ratings.
Nah, it is now. I'll create a new rating.
I would give it a cognitive regression.
Same.
Unfortunate. To be honest, I wasn't actually looking forward to this movie that much. I didn't even have that, like, my expectations weren't even that high. So.
I went through a range of emotions. I wasn't looking forward to it. And then one of my friends messaged me and said it was really good. And then I was looking forward to it. But then he said, but go in with low expectations. So I was like, kind of looking forward to it. In the end, I shouldn't have been looking forward to it.
Well, I messaged you the Rotten Tomatoes score, which was revealed yesterday.
But that means nothing to me.
It doesn't, because Last Jedi's got like 92% or something, and most people don't like that movie.
Yeah.
Well, we had a debate about this after we watched it. Some of our friends were saying that the Star Wars fans will like this movie more than Last Jedi. I don't think so.
I think the people that don't like Last Jedi will like this more.
I just think no one should like this movie because it's just the thing with Last Jedi is it does a lot of stuff that you probably weren't expecting, but not in a good way. Like it kind of subverted your expectations, but not in a good way, and that's why people don't like it. But if you just look at it as a movie, as a standalone movie, and how it's made, it's competently made, and if you just watch it as a standalone, it's actually not a bad movie at all. It's actually well made. This, on the other hand, I could argue that it's not even well made.
It's not well made, yeah. The editing is especially bad. And yeah, even if you take the story aside, if you just leave the story and say, whatever, the story is whatever it is, it's still not good. But there's lots of problems with the story. But if you leave that aside, it's still not a good movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
But we might get some backlash on Twitter. Let's see. Okay, we'll jump into spoilers because we've got a lot to say in spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you do care about spoilers, please come to this point, back to this point in the podcast and listen to our spoiler talk. But if you have watched the movie or you don't care about spoilers, then keep listening. So we've warned you.
If you want to go in fresh without and have your own opinion on it, you should watch it with spoilers.
There's a couple of things.
Are we doing spoilers now?
Yeah, there's probably a couple of things you don't want to know before going in.
I think most of the stuff you find out from the trailers before going in, but you probably go in expecting new stuff, and there's
Which you
no
don't
new
get.
stuff. Yeah.
which you don't get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
Anyway, let's go from the start.
Yeah, so before we jump in, I was going to say, so J.J. Abrams, Force Awakens is pretty much A New Hope again. So just retreaded the same thing. So there's nothing really new in that movie, but people loved it.
It's a good movie.
People loved it because it was like a return to Star Wars. It was the first Star Wars movie in like 10 years? I think 10 years.
And it's also a good movie.
Yeah, and it's well made. Good movie.
And the characters are good.
Yeah, introduce some new characters, but again, it's the same Star Wars. There's nothing that new about it. And then you come to Rian Johnson's Last Jedi. He does some stuff differently. So he kind of goes against everything in Star Wars. So generally in Star Wars, to be a Jedi, well, the main characters in these movies have always inherited their powers from something. So Luke Skywalker, his father was Darth Vader. Before that, he was Anakin Skywalker. So he got his powers from that. So that's why everyone was thinking that Rey should be related to someone, and that's how she has powers. And that's what people were expecting because it's Star Wars. Rian Johnson went against that, and he said, you don't have to be from a background. You could just be no one and still be a Jedi. That's what he did. People didn't particularly like it, but at least he did something different. At least he tried something different and did something different for Star Wars. This movie, it kind of goes back and tries to kind of forget about Last Jedi and retcons a lot of stuff. So in Last Jedi, they say that Rey, her parents were just no one. But in this one, they're like, they were no one, but they were also Palpatine's.
They were no one, but your grandfather was someone.
Yeah, their grandfather was someone.
I have problems with that as well. I'll talk about it.
So it's already revealed in the trailers, but Palpatine is in this movie. What did you think of him being in this movie?
So we're going from the start, basically.
Yeah.
In the opening crawl, they basically just throw it at you that Palpatine's back, and you just got to go with it. There's no kind of explanation. It's never really said why he's back or how he's back. He's just back. And yeah, basically you just got to go with it. It's in the opening crawl and he's in the first scene and you're just like, okay, fair enough. And it's stupid and it's very shoehorned in. It feels really fake. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got no complaints about that.
No.
I didn't like him. Well, I know why he's in the movie. So basically,
I think it could have worked, but the way they did it was not good. But just having the opening crawl basically says the first line is Palpatine's back, bitches. He wants to kill people, and yeah, people want to kill him. That's what the opening crawl is, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. He's in the very first scene, pretty much. And the reason he's in this movie is, I'm pretty sure about this, but I don't think Snoke was meant to die in Last Jedi. So I think he was meant to be the main bad guy of this trilogy. But Rian Johnson did his own thing, and he killed him off. And then they're like, shit, we need a bad guy for this movie, because we didn't plan for this. And they're like, let's just bring back the Emperor.
Yeah. Well, either way, I think it could have worked, but the way they did it was very bad and shoehorned in. And there's no explanation for anything, basically. He's just there because he's there.
And he's he's in the first scene. He's in like 3 scenes.
Yeah, and then he comes back at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hardly in the movie.
So I'm gonna cut away a little bit, but let's talk about Palpatine's plan.
So what his plan is?
His plan is first, in that first scene, he tells Kylo Ren that he has to kill Rey. That's his plan. So that's what happens for the first part of the movie, but Kylo Ren's like, nah, we're not going to kill you. We're both going to go kill him. But then Palpatine's plan changes. He's like, I want you to bring Rey to me. So he doesn't want Kylo Ren to kill Rey. He wants Rey to come to him. And then at the end of the movie, his plan is for Rey to kill him.
To kill Palpatine. Yeah.
To kill Palpatine.
Yeah.
Then why do you ask Kylo Ren to kill Rey then at the start if his original plan was for Rey to kill him?
Maybe he thought that Kylo Ren would switch.
Okay. And then at the very end of the movie, he just takes their power anyway. Why doesn't he do that to begin with? Why does he want Rey to kill him?
Because she's his granddaughter and he doesn't want to.
He does it anyway. Does it anyway.
No, I agree with you. It makes no sense. So basically,
his plan changes like 4 times.
And also at the very end, he's like, "Yeah, Rey, kill me." She doesn't kill him.
She doesn't kill him.
She doesn't kill him. She gives the lightsaber, because they still have this mind connection thing that they have from Last Jedi with Kylo Ren and Rey. So she gives Kylo Ren a lightsaber. She has another lightsaber, very conveniently. And then she goes to kill him, but then he starts fighting her. Doesn't she go to kill him?
Yeah, she's going to kill him. Why are you stopping her? Let her kill you. Okay, so it makes no sense. Basically, the whole overarching story of the movie makes no sense.
I think I figured it out. She had to kill him with that lightsaber.
Oh, okay. But she gets both of them in the end anyway. She's got both of. Technically, she's still. I guess what they're saying at the end is that he killed himself because, like, the lightning, like.
But didn't he say, like, if he dies, his, like, spirit goes into her?
Yeah. So maybe...
Does it matter if he dies from his own... Couldn't he just kill himself?
He could kill himself, yeah. Anyway. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense how he comes back either.
The more you think about it, the less it makes sense.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he's still alive, but it's never explained.
Never explained.
And well, yeah, he just says he's back. He's like, I'm back, bitches.
He's still got a body and everything.
So, yeah.
But there is this, like... mechanical arm or something that's behind him.
Yeah, it's like this Assassin's Creed arm. Like in the Michael Fassbender movie, he's got the Assassin's Creed arm.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does. Maybe he doesn't have legs.
Yeah, maybe he needs that to move.
Yeah. Did he get chopped in half?
I'm trying to remember what happens to him.
He gets thrown down a thing.
Yeah, doesn't he get thrown? Maybe he gets chopped.
Okay. Anyway,
he dies.
He's got like this mechanical arm thing that controls him. So that's the first stupid thing that happens in this movie.
Before we move off Palpatine, the very first scene is like, oh, you don't know anything about her. And then he just gives Kylo Ren
a smile. It's very comical.
It's a really creepy smile. And it kind of lingers on it a bit too long.
Yeah. It could have been
like
sinister.
10 seconds a bit too long.
It could have been sinister and creepy, but it just lingered that touch too long. It's like a smile you let off when you let off like a good fart or something. That's the kind of smile he gives off. It's not sinister. It's really bad. So we're going to skip a bit from there. Basically, for next 20 minutes of the movie, nothing happens.
What does actually happen?
No.
I think
they get information that there's a mole in the First Order.
That's right. Yeah.
Rey's training. She's doing backflips and shit like that. I don't know. Yeah.
And they basically introduced like the main characters.
Yes. And Leia's training Rey.
And so when I saw this, I was like, well, she got a massive demotion in terms of a Jedi Master. She had Luke, and then she's got Leia, but then you find out Leia's
a Jedi Master for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Which is never talked about, but, there's a 5-minute scene in this movie that explains it all. So.
Well, it's not even 5. It's like a minute.
Yes. So that's basically what's happening. And then the first MacGuffin in this movie shows up. They have to find, what's it called? The Sith Wayfinder, which
is this little pyramid.
A pyramid, and that pyramid shows you where Palpatine is. But to find the pyramid, first they need to find the sword.
Yeah, the dagger.
The dagger. Okay. Yeah. So they have to go find this dagger to go find the pyramid to go find Palpatine.
But so before they do that, they have all these scenes with John Boyega and Oscar Isaac and Rey, like between them.
Just arguing.
Pretty much, yeah. And so I just watched Force Awakens, and in that, Poe Dameron and Finn, they're like really good friends.
Yeah, but in this movie, they just hate each other. Everyone hates each other in this movie. Poe hates Rey, Finn hates Poe.
Rey hates everyone.
Rey pretty much hates everyone at some points, yeah. Anyway, they keep bickering, and it's not like good bickering, it's bad bickering. Yeah. It's like, it's... Like at the start, it's like, oh, they're just having playful banter. And there's like, no, I think they hate each other. Yeah. I think these guys actually hate each other.
They actually hate each other, yeah. And we do see Rose in like...
Okay, Rose is completely sidelined.
Yeah, she's in maybe 3 scenes.
Yeah, and she has like maybe 2 lines of dialogue. She's hardly a character. And I'm not a massive fan of what she is in The Last Jedi, but they could have used her. They could have like done something with her.
She might have like just come with them on their quest.
Exactly. It wouldn't have hurt to have an extra character there. And anyway, she's completely sidelined for no apparent reason. From there, they go to this planet where they're just, I don't know, there's some dance party or some shit with some aliens.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like the alien version of the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, it's like Hawley and Day of the Dead put together, but alien version.
Yeah, and then this like child walks up to Rey and she's like,
she starts talking shit to her.
Yeah, just starts talking to her.
Why is this in the movie?
It starts off pretty innocent. She's like, yeah, what's your name? And then she's like, what's your surname?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't have one. And then Rey gets all sad.
Rey gets all sad, yeah.
I don't have a family name.
Anyway, they're about to get shot by stormtroopers.
I don't think she should get offended that she doesn't have a surname, because Finn doesn't even have a name,
Yeah.
technically.
It doesn't matter what your fucking surname is. Anyway, they're about to get shot by a stormtrooper. And then out of nowhere, this guy in a mask just shoots the stormtroopers. And you're like, who the fuck's this bloke? And then the guy takes off the mask. It's fucking Lando. It's like, where did this come from? How is he here, first off, in the planet? How does he know who these people are?
Maybe he came for that festival, which is every 42 years.
He came in the festival in the mask.
Yeah,
with the
'cause he
blaster to shoot stormtroopers.
He wanted to celebrate, but then he brought a blaster just in case, any trouble rocks up.
Anyway, he shoots the stormtrooper and he's like, hey guys, I'm Lando. And they're like, oh, we know who you are. You're great. And then they're like, come with us. And he's like, nah.
Nah.
And then they just leave.
And then they just leave.
Yeah.
And they go into this like little truck or something, and they're in there for like a minute, and then they come back out and they haven't actually moved. They're still exactly where they were before.
Oh, yeah. They go to this thing, and then they talk to Lando, and it's like, oh, yeah.
And they come out, and they're in the same place.
Yeah, they come out in the same place.
Anywhere.
And then basically they get onto speeders, and then they run away. There's a little action scene. That's pretty shit. And they find the dagger, whatever.
And then they like fall in quicksand, and they go underground.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's the basilisk there.
Yeah, there's this very unnecessary like monster scene there. Anyway, that's all irrelevant. They find the dagger. They're about to get on the ship, and then Kylo comes, and Rey and Kylo have this little fight. This is the first part of the movie where I'm like, oh, this could be good. And then I'm like, nah, this is shit. So Chewie basically gets captured, and they take him onto a freighter. And then Kylo and Rey are force battling the thing to keep it down. And it blows up because Rey lightnings it. And I'm like, oh shit, Chewie's dead. I'm like, okay. Look, it's a bold move that they just did there. It's not the greatest death for Chewie, but geez, that's a really bold move they've done there. This is like Last Jedi-esque, and I actually felt it a bit. I'm like, shit, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Very next scene,
he's still alive. So, no explanation of how he's still alive. He is alive though,
somehow still alive.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so Rey like just starts randomly walking into the desert because she like feels the force or something, and then they're like, Chewie, go get her. They ask the slowest guy that they've got to
who
go
doesn't
get
speak English. Anyway, he's still alive, and this is the first part of the movie where they do a bold thing, or what they think is a bold thing, and immediately just retcon it in the next scene. First off, it decreases the stakes because no one can get hurt because everyone's safe in this movie, and they're just going to come back alive in the next scene. And secondly, it's just shit. Like, why do you do that? Why did you, like, have it explode and then in the background have another ship, like, fly away? Don't make everyone think he's dead.
Yeah.
And then in the very next scene, just bring him back to life for no reason.
Yeah.
It's shit. Yeah.
They could have just written it another way. Like, he didn't even need to get captured. If he wasn't going to die, they probably didn't need to get him captured. Like, they might have just had the dagger was stolen.
The dagger's stolen, and they have to go find the dagger.
And then Rey blows up the ship with the dagger in it or something.
Yeah. Anyway, it's stupid. And that was the first point in the movie. I'm like, this could be good, or this could be shit, and it went in the shit direction.
Yeah, very far into that direction.
And like we said, it doesn't make sense because there's no other ships around, and like it doesn't make sense how he survived.
It kind of ruined that scene a bit too because it was so stupid, but it was meant to actually be a big revelation that Rey's got these like lightning powers.
Abilities, yeah.
But that gets overshadowed by all the stupidness of that scene.
Yeah. From there, they go to this other planet because C-3PO, they need to do some shit to his brain. Irrelevant.
So he can't read Sith, or he can
say
read it,
Sith,
but he can't say it.
Yeah, so they have to reboot him
because his
or
programming forbids it or something.
And this is the first part of the movie where you meet a character that is not necessary and that they've cast for some reason and gets very to no play in this movie. Very little to no play. Anyway.
That's Kerry Russell's character. You don't even see her face, so I feel like they didn't need to get a famous actor for that.
No, they could have got anyone. She's in like 3 scenes. Yeah. Anyway, they're on that planet. They find out Chewie's still alive. They go onto the destroyer.
This is the other thing. So C-3PO, they make it look like this is the end of his, like, they're wiping his memory. So he's been through a lot. Like, he knows
Yeah, this is another one of the things where they're like, oh, this is a really big thing. We're wiping C-3PO's memory.
Yeah.
It's gone forever.
And then they have this whole scene. It's in the trailer. Where
like 15 minutes. Yeah, they have a whole scene where it's like depressing order. It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, gets his memory back.
Yeah.
It's back,
like,
boys.
Even before they like wipe his memory, they're like, doesn't R2-D2 have the backup of your memory? I was like, oh, that's infamously bad or something. It just says some shit.
Yeah.
I was like, well, there's still a
It's
possibility.
still a backup, yeah.
There's still a possibility that you might get your memory back.
Yeah, it's, once again, no stakes. There's 0 stakes in this movie. So they're on the Star Destroyer and they're saving Chewie. There's this other scene that like just decreases the stakes so much. It's kind of a cool scene, but it's stupid because they're running through a hallway with all these stormtroopers and they're just shooting all these stormtroopers. They're not undercover or anything. They're just running through a hallway in open sight, and the stormtroopers seem to miss them every time, and they're just getting headshots.
It's because the stormtroopers, they just went on a bender.
Yeah, they're all hungover. Yeah. Anyway, it's very stupid. Decreases the stakes, and for some reason, Hux is a mole. But it doesn't matter because he dies the very next scene. So
that's one thing they didn't backtrack on. They just killed him, and that was
they just killed him. They're like, oh shit, someone needs to be a mole. Just this guy. This guy's the mole.
That's the other thing. So Hux in the first movie, in Force Awakens, he was a menacing character. He was menacing, and he was a proper character, and he was respected at least. In Last Jedi, he becomes a bit of an idiot. So in this one, they're like, well, we can't use him anymore because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So we've got to get this other character now.
They were kind of boxed into a corner with that, and they didn't know what to do with him. So they made him a mole, but there's no real reason for him to be a mole.
He says it's just because...
So he wants Kylo Ren to lose.
Yeah.
Then kill Kylo Ren. Why does he want the First Order to lose? That means he loses his job, and he's gonna die. It makes 0 sense. He can kill Kylo Ren, he can cause a mutiny, but he still wants the First Order to win. He doesn't want the First Order to lose. He just hates Kylo Ren.
Maybe he doesn't really care about the First Order either. He just wants personal glory.
But he specifically says, I don't want you to win. I want Kylo Ren to lose.
Anyway.
I think it's not the least logical thing in this movie, but also it doesn't make that much sense.
No. Yeah.
And I think because it doesn't make that much sense, they killed him in the very next scene so that no one can ask questions about it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just forget about that guy.
Just forget about him. He's dead now.
For some reason, I thought he was the mole as well. Because there's no one else that you know.
There's no one else in the First Order that you know. Exactly. Yeah. So it's got to be him or, I don't know, random white dude. Yeah. Let's talk about that Force connection that Kylo and Rey have, which kind of comes throughout this movie.
So that's the only thing from Last Jedi that they kind of hold on to in this movie. Everything else they kind of forget about.
To be honest, I didn't mind it. I thought they did some cool stuff with it.
They did that in Last Jedi too.
Not like the parts where they're fighting each other through the Force connection.
No, I don't think they ever
They just talk in The Last Jedi. I think the fighting through the Force connection, and then also the part near the end, they exchange stuff.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't mind it. I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not too bad. But I thought the whole reason they were connected was because
Snoke connected them? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Well,
was Palpatine connecting them?
No, I'm willing to forgive that and say, like, Kylo Ren figured out how to do it and he's connecting them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then why doesn't he just do it whenever he wants?
I think he does, though. Like,
at the end, he could have helped if he did it a bit earlier.
He didn't need it then. And I thought that was an okay part of the movie.
Yeah.
I just want to sprinkle some positivity in the middle.
Okay. Let's continue with the negativity now.
Okay. The other main characters in this movie, in The Force Awakens, I actually really liked Poe and Finn.
Yeah.
And I thought they were really good characters. Poe's meant to be like the best pilot in the galaxy. And in the first movie, you see a lot of it and it's really good.
Yeah.
He does some cool...
In the second movie, he doesn't do anything.
In the second movie, the very first scene, he does some cool stuff where he goes through and destroys the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, that's right.
He does some cool stuff in that.
Just
maybe not towards the end, but at the very start he does.
Well, most of that movie he's sitting
in a room. Yeah. But he does, like, in that one, he does, like, the handbrake turn, and then he, like, turns the speeder. It's pretty cool. The first one's where he does most of his cool stuff. In this movie, he does absolutely nothing. He's shit.
Yeah.
And he flies the Millennium Falcon, and for some reason he's not good at flying it, which makes no sense because he's the best pilot in the galaxy. So have they backtracked on him being the best pilot?
Well, he's meant to be the
or
best
is he
pilot.
not the best pilot?
He's meant to be the best pilot, but it feels like Rey's better than him.
Yeah. Is Rey better than him? Is she a better pilot? It feels like a waste of his character where they could have done. He does fly a lot in this movie, but he doesn't do anything spectacular. And we know J.J. Abrams can do cool stuff with him because he did it in the first movie. So he's just wasted. I thought he was like one of the favorite characters from the first movie. And Finn is completely useless in this movie. He's kind of just like this moaning person that just keeps running after Rey.
He just yells Rey.
He just yells Rey continuously. And at some point in this movie, he tells Rey he wants to tell her something.
And he never tells her.
He never tells her.
I just realized that now.
Yeah, he never tells her what he's going to tell her. So we still don't know what he wanted to tell Rey. I think there's, like, it's not clear, but I think there's kind of like a love triangle romance they tried to do. But I think halfway through, they're like, nah, we don't want to do this anymore. And they just drop the storyline. Because there's like some kind of stuff between Poe and Rey and then Finn and Rey. And then halfway through, they're like, nah, let's do Kylo Ren.
Now it's like
Rey.
a love square.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter because it's shit anyway. Yeah. But anyway, those two characters are really poorly used.
I agree.
All right. So then they do a bit of fan service and try and make her related to someone big from the other series. Like we talked. Did we say who she's related to yet?
Yeah.
Palpatine. Yeah. So yeah, it seemed forced. It didn't seem real. And it seemed like it was just pandering to the audience. I'm okay with her being Palpatine's granddaughter if it makes sense and if there's hints to it previously. There's no real hints to her being Palpatine's daughter. There's hints that she may be someone's big's daughter, but there's nothing specific to say, yeah, she is Palpatine's daughter. Oh, granddaughter, sorry. Also, so she's the same age as Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Palpatine, in the prequels, would he be like 70 years old?
Yeah.
70? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anakin's Kylo Ren's grandfather, but Palpatine's Rey's grandfather. So he's 70 years old. Anakin's like 25 maybe or 30 in the prequels.
Palpatine's messed up. Like he...
So like just talking about age-wise, I don't think it works that Palpatine's his grad. That means that Luke and Leia were around the same age as Rey's father.
Yeah, yeah.
So around the time where Darth Vader was made, when Palpatine was, like, when he becomes the Emperor, he had a son. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
When he's 70 years old.
Yeah, but he's messed up. Like, he might be even older than that because he's a Sith, so he could be anything.
I just don't think the timelines match up. I don't think the timelines match up in terms of him being...
I'm pretty sure he used Force or something to, like...
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm willing to forgive that. It's weird.
I don't think he had a naturally born son. I'm pretty sure it was some weird...
He looked pretty naturally born.
No, I'm pretty sure it was some weird Force...
Like Force Sith impregnation.
Yeah. They never explain this stuff anyway. I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt with this one.
Okay,
they probably don't deserve it, but I'm giving it to them.
Yeah, anyway, give them the benefit of the doubt for that one. But it's fucking stupid. The lightsaber fight on the Death Star planet was the one that I thought was okay.
That's one in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's alright. Yeah, that's when Leia dies.
Yes. And it's a bit soft.
Yes.
I thought it was a bit soft when she dies.
Yeah.
You don't even see her really. You see the back of her. She disappears.
The other thing is the dialogue in this movie is not very good because just before she's like walking away, what's her name? Maz Kanata. She's like, Leia will need to use all the power that she has.
All the power she has.
So what the hell are you talking about? How do you know?
How do you know this? She just walked away from it. She could be going to the bathroom for all you know. What the fuck do you know?
And the next year she's dead. I'm like, what the hell?
I think what happened is they made a Force connection, and then when Rey stabs Kylo Ren, she kills Leia as well. Is that what happened? So technically Rey kills Leia? Is that why she's so depressed? That's what I got from it.
Well, it could be that, or it could just Leia had to use her power. She did what Luke did, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and she had to like transmit herself into.
Yeah. I thought Leia. Well, Rey killed Leia because they had like a connection. Anyway, it doesn't matter because all of it's shit.
Well, she should have technically. So I don't know if this is a real thing now because we've seen it in Mandalorian as well. But can Jedi's heal people?
Well, it was in the Mandalorian, so yeah. Spoilers for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
apparently they can.
I watched the episode just the day before, so I'm like, I'm willing to be okay with that. But also, they kill Kylo Ren, and then the very next scene they bring him back. So it's one of the other ones where they kill someone, and then the next scene, they're okay.
One scene I did think that was good after that though was with Han Solo, how he sees Han Solo.
But saying that, I thought it would have been good if Kylo Ren stayed dead there. That would have been a bit more of an impactful moment.
I would have actually liked if Rey actually went like full Sith.
Yeah. If she killed Kylo Ren there, it would have been good.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been really good. But no, they bring him back. No, but the Han Solo scene's good, like you said.
They potentially had a good storyline with this because they kind of did a reversal because obviously Kylo comes from a family of Jedis, taking out Darth Vader, but family of Jedis. And then Rey comes from a family of Sith. And it's kind of like a reversal. So Rey's becoming a Jedi and Kylo's becoming a Sith. But then eventually they retract back to
whatever.
What they were. I thought that they had something good going there, but they executed it really bad.
Yeah. And it's, once again, it doesn't have stakes because you can bring back people with force powers whenever you want.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, there's other stupid stuff that happens after this, so we'll talk about that.
But Han's thing wasn't bad.
No, that was good. And I think the dialogue is almost exactly the same
as what he says on the bridge. Yeah.
Force Awakens, yeah.
Nearly, I think it's basically shot for shot exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a tweak.
And even the lightsaber part, how he's like holding it.
Yes, it's nearly exactly the same.
And then he chucks it away. Yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah.
And it was good to see him turn good. Because
question is, did he chuck it away because it's like a Sith lightsaber?
Yeah, I thought he could have maybe just changed the color.
Yeah, because it might be useful.
Yeah, it could be useful. Like there's still a kyber crystal in there, man. Come on,
might be useful, especially when he goes to fight those guys and he
walks in with like a blaster.
You could use a lightsaber right now.
Let's talk about Kylo Ren's Knights of Ren. So who the fuck are these guys? And where the fuck did they come from? And why the fuck are they in this movie?
I got a question. In Last Jedi,
yes,
you know the part where Snoke dies?
Yes.
And there's the red guys?
Yes.
Are they the Knights of Ren?
They all die. They killed them all.
But they are the Knights of Ren?
No, they're not.
Who are they?
I don't know. They're Snoke's henchmen.
Okay, so...
The Knights of Ren are a bunch of... Well, in the comics, they're a bunch of followers of Kylo Ren that were his Padawans.
Yeah, but where have they been all this time?
I don't know. I don't even know if these are his Padawans. I don't know who these guys are. There's no explanation. There's just a bunch of guys that show up with helmets on.
And so they might not even be...
They never say they're the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, they might just be random guys.
Why are they in this movie then? Why don't just have stormtroopers? Why not just have the red stormtroopers? Because
they want to mix up the colours a bit.
They want to sell fucking toys. That's why. And it makes no sense. But there's no explanation. There's probably a prequel comic or a tie-in book or some shit that explains it. I don't need everything to be explained to me, but you can't just chuck in these random characters and not have any explanation for why they're in this movie.
Yeah. I was going to say, while we were on the topic of toys, some more toys that you can buy from the Rise of Skywalker. So there's that new droid.
Yeah. Why is he in this movie? Yeah. What was used as he served?
Don't they get some information out of him? They get like the location of that hexagon or whatever it is. What's that planet called?
The Sith Wayfinder.
Hexagon or something. Where the Sith, that Wayfinder thing is.
Oh, okay.
You have to go there to get it. And then
the Death Star planet?
Well,
no. They find...
You have to go to this other planet first to get that pyramid thing. The Wayfinder.
Yeah.
Then you use that to find the other planet. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. So you find the dagger first. Once you find the dagger, you find the pyramid.
Yeah.
The pyramid was on Death Star planet.
Yeah.
And then the pyramid leads you to the Emperor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And for some reason, the droid knew where the Emperor was.
Yeah. Well, he knew something.
He knew something, but
he knew
anyone could have known that. Why did it have to be him? Why did they have to create a new character to know one thing?
Because BB-8 needs a mate.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even that cute.
Not really.
No.
Yeah. And the other thing was that little guy who works on C-3PO's
yeah, he was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was all right. I think that character was okay to be in the movie. They could have just had that character and not had Kerry Russell's character, who's in this for no reason.
So just have that little guy walking around on that planet.
Yeah, they could have had that. They could have done that.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting.
But no one understands him. Oh, I think C-3PO understands
Yeah,
him. Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I thought Rey understands heaps of different languages because she can speak to droids and Chewie and stuff.
She does, yeah.
Yeah. But she doesn't.
I guess she doesn't know that language.
Yeah. She also doesn't know Sith language, even though her blood is Sith.
Yes, yeah.
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 Maybe
Basically.
maybe you don't inherit that stuff. It's just you have to learn.
You have to learn it.
Yeah.
It's like English, like any language.
Yeah.
Luke returns
For one scene?
from one scene, and it's not great. I don't even remember what he says, but it didn't resonate with me.
I don't think it was bad. It just wasn't that good.
It wasn't memorable.
Yeah.
He catches a lightsaber, but
That's about it.
that's about it. I don't know what he said. Something about him being wrong or some shit. It's like, and you should go get that pyramid out of Kylo Ren's ship.
He has some motivational dialogues in there.
And then he raises his X-wing out of the water, which was
So if he can do that, why can't he just come with her?
yeah, why can't he just come with her and kill Palpatine?
Yeah.
Like, you've got this much power with
Can he
you.
not get off that island? Is that
No, because she sees him at the end, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Anyway, that was shit. No, it was okay. It wasn't shit. It was just mediocre.
Yeah. No, it was alright.
So they're all on the planet fighting Palpatine at this point. And yeah, they're all nearly dead. And then Lando comes back with all these guys.
The rest of the galaxy.
The rest of the Resistance. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, it was good.
It was cool.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's like, I don't know, lots of Easter eggs in that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mandalorian ship somewhere in there.
Probably. Yeah.
Anyway, it was okay. We're getting close to the end here. Oh yeah, at some point in this movie, there's also the other character that's introduced. What was her name? Naomi Aki.
Yeah, I don't know what her name in the movie
In the
is.
movies,
but
yeah. And you find out she's a stormtrooper as well.
That went rogue, yeah.
That went rogue. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because it's shit. Look, basically, the whole movie is, if you think about the plot, it's they go to this place to get this, to get another thing, so that they can get to another place. So that's the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like a video game. It's like a fetch quest.
Pretty much. I was going to say, so right at the end when Rey's fighting Palpatine, so he sucks the powers out of them. Like, what does he suck the force out of them or something?
Yes. Yep. I forgot to talk about this part. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, he does that. So obviously he's powerful enough to do that.
Why doesn't he just do that?
Yeah. So and then he like uses his powers and he blows up there's 10,000 ships.
Yeah, and he doesn't blow them up. He like electrocutes all of them. Like, you have this much power. Why do you need anyone else? You don't need anyone.
Yeah.
You can kill the galaxy by yourself.
And then he gets destroyed by Rey and her lightsabers, pretty much.
Yes.
Well,
And this is the second time in the movie where Kylo Ren dies.
Yeah,
so,
but he
chucks
comes
him into a hole.
but I'm pretty sure, I was pretty sure he didn't die.
He did die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at that stage.
But then he actually dies.
He dies when you least expect him to die.
he dies after kissing Rey. And you're like, oh, okay, so they're going to be happy together. It's like, nope, he's dead.
That makes no sense either, because I didn't really see that coming. I just didn't feel that.
I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. Like, if it was in a better movie and that happened, I would have been okay with it. But it's not a better movie. Everything around it's shit. And then that just makes it shitter.
One of our friends, you weren't here. I was talking to one of our friends on the way back from the movie, and he was saying that, you know how Kylo puts his hand on Rey's stomach?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, maybe he impregnated her, so she's gonna have
I hope not. I fucking hope not.
that was next level stuff. I'm like, nah, that's
I fucking hope not. If that's happening, then fuck this movie. It was already bad.
Okay. Oh yeah, and Rey hears all the Jedi's voices.
Yes. Yeah, I think but once again, felt like fan service and just felt pandering and not.
I thought it would be better if she actually saw the Jedi.
Them. Yeah, I thought it would be better as well. And that would have been cool. But instead, she just hears all their voices saying shit.
Yeah.
I think you hear all of them. I didn't think it was that amazing. I can see people being like, oh shit, that's so cool. She hears Ewan McGregor say, go kill Palpatine.
These are your first steps or something.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's so cool. But it's not cool. It's just shit. It's just people saying shit to her.
So,
And then at the end, she says she's a Skywalker, which is not.
It's just a blatant lie.
And at one point in this movie, she's like, my parents were good, but you're bad or whatever to Palpatine. I thought that means she's proud of her parents. So she's proud of her parents, but she's disowning them as well. Yeah. Essentially, that's what's happening. She's proud of them, but she's disowning them.
Yeah, didn't make sense.
I think it would have made more sense if she said, I'm Rey Palpatine. I don't know.
Well, it would have made sense because that's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly that's the truth.
Or make up a new name. That would have made more sense than saying I'm a Skywalker.
Yeah.
Or take your mother's name. Take your mother's name.
The other thing is, why are these random people on the street so interested in what your surname is? Like, who asked you? Like,
who asked you what your surname is? Yeah. Is this a thing in Star Wars universe where they're like, yeah, that's your first name, but what's your surname? That's what I really want to know.
Like, when you introduce yourself, you don't always introduce yourself with your full name. You're just like, I'm your first name. No one really asks you what your surname is. Anyway, last thing I wanted to ask is, this movie's called Rise of Skywalker. Why?
I don't know. Is it because Rey's Skywalker at the end? But she's not. She's a Palpatine. It should be fucking Rise of Palpatine, if anything.
I was thinking they could have kept it vague and just said Rise of the Jedi, which makes more sense than what they've done. Luke Skywalker doesn't come back. Technically, Kylo Ren's not even a Skywalker.
He's a Solo. Yeah. Which is also a made-up name based off the Solo movie, but fair enough. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think that last line in the movie is to pander to the title, to make the title make sense.
Just to justify the title, but the title doesn't make sense. Yeah. Anyway, this was a bit of a disaster.
It's horrible. Yeah. Those are the main things in the movie, but I've probably missed out on some shit that's in the movie that's not good as well. So do you have anything that I didn't go through?
I just had some points just saying that so a lot of people might think this is like damage control and they've kind of like fixed what Last Jedi did. I feel like...
Okay.
I don't think they fixed it. I think they had two choices. They had what they did here. Well, actually, not even what they did here. So they could have just completely disregarded Last Jedi and did their own thing, which they don't actually. They do actually take some stuff from Last Jedi.
But very little.
They could have actually followed The Last Jedi, which they probably should have done, because that's a movie that everyone's watched. But what they did is they tried to do a bit of both. That completely screwed them over. You were saying before that people that like Last Jedi might like this. I don't think anyone will like this. I don't think they...
Okay, the Last Jedi, if we're going to talk about what that did for this movie, I don't think it did any favors for it, because it did force it into a corner that's very hard to come out of.
Yeah. No, but they could have still done this story with what happened Last Jedi. They didn't have to necessarily make Rey related to anyone.
But I think because of the backlash of Last Jedi, they had to go in this way to do a course correction, and with everything that they had to do, this was the only way they could. Well, they thought they could do it.
Yeah, I think so.
The Last Jedi may not have had that much fan service, but this has too much fan service that doesn't make sense. I felt like there was too much. I felt there was like
I don't think
very
it was good.
Forced moments.
I don't think it was good fan service.
Exactly. Well, there was fan service, but it wasn't good. Yeah. And I felt there was too much of it. And I do feel like The Last Jedi has some part to play with it because it boxed it into a corner. But The Last Jedi is a better movie than this. There's 3 things I don't like in The Last Jedi. First thing, when Leia flies like Mary Poppins back into the ship.
Yeah,
that was stupid. The very slow chase scene, which is kind of boring and stupid.
The casino.
And Canto Bar. Yeah. Which is useless. Yeah.
The other thing I didn't like about Last Jedi is, so everything with Luke on the island was pretty shit. But when Luke gets off the island, which he technically doesn't even get off the island, when he comes back at the end, that was pretty cool. Yeah. That was good.
And also, some of the story doesn't make sense in Last Jedi in terms of like the Jurassic Park chick. When she doesn't explain to Poe what the plan is.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason why she wouldn't explain the plan, which is a major plot point in the movie.
Hodolph or something? What's her name?
In the movie? Or?
Yeah, in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't make sense, but overall, the movie it works. It works. It's a decent movie, but it did... I think that the killing of Snoke mainly forced this movie into a corner where they didn't have a big baddie because they had to bring Kylo Ren back to the light side. And if they bring Kylo Ren back to the light, they don't have another big bad guy. And they made Hux seem like such a loser that he could have become the new bad guy. So they had nothing they could do. But they shouldn't have done this anyway. This is not the way they should have gone.
I don't think this was JJ's vision either.
Well, JJ had to quickly put this together from all accounts. He didn't have much time to put it together. So, and if you look at who wrote the movie, it's like 4 people.
This was originally meant to be directed by Colin Trevorrow. So when they first announced all the Star Wars movies, the first one was JJ, second one was Rian Johnson, third one was Colin Trevorrow.
He did a shit movie, so they fired him.
What did he do? Book of Henry or something?
Yeah, Book of Henry. Yeah.
Yeah, he did that, so he got fired. Then Rian Johnson did Last Jedi, so he was not going to do this movie, obviously. So they had to bring JJ back. We won't do a ranking, but what's your favourite Star Wars movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
Mine is probably Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, probably Empire Strikes Back.
I do really like Force Awakens as well.
I think Revenge of the Sith is actually quite a good movie.
I watched it the other day. It's alright.
As in, it's not amazing, but I think it's better than a lot of people say it is.
And the worst one is still Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
But this is
somewhere in between.
Close to being there.
Yeah.
I think this is like pretty close to being one of the worst ones, like prequel level bad, in my opinion. I'm sure there's people out there that love it though. And I've heard from people that like it.
Well, good on them.
And it's fine. Like, I think if you're just looking for like a space movie with some good action and...
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes. And and you probably like this.
I think that's all we had to say about The Rise of Skywalker. Bit of a disappointment. Not that I was highly anticipating this movie, but I thought it'd be better than this.
I did think it would be better than this, but also I probably wasn't expecting it to be amazing. Given what Last Jedi did, it just felt like the stakes weren't that high in this one. I feel like they could have just done 2 movies and ended with Last Jedi. Just add extra half an hour to that, and then that's
that
your
movie
movie.
Pretty much wraps it up anyway. Like, there's...
No, if you add an extra half an hour and then bring, like, either kill Kylo Ren or bring him back to the light, then that's it. You could wrap it up.
Are they going to do more Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I think so. They've announced them, so I guess so. Yeah, there's still a Rian Johnson one.
They're still doing that?
Yeah, I think so. It's still out there. Yeah.
So he's doing his own thing. Well, if he does his own thing, it's fine.
Yeah, if he does his own trilogy, then obviously he's got a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. So then it'll be fine. D&D are not doing it. They got fired.
No, they got fired. Yeah. Well, they left.
Yeah. But that won't be for a while, I'm guessing, those movies.
No, I think there'll be a bit of a break after this.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is going to do amazingly well, so they'll reassess. But there is other good Star Wars stuff coming out at the moment. Like the game was really good, spectacular. And the Mandalorian's
pretty good.
Oh, I've kind of soured on it a bit, but it's pretty good.
The episode that just happened was pretty good.
That was the best one yet, I think. But I'm really looking forward to the last one because Taika Waititi's directing.
Yeah. Is he just going to put jokes through it?
I hope so. IG-88 all the way through. Overall, I think The Mandalorian's been okay, though. If that came out as a binge-watch series, then it would have been great. Yeah. The only reason we're still talking about it is because it's week to week. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll do a full episode on that next week once we've watched the last episode. All right, I'll do the Who Am I? You can guess who it is. It's a pretty easy one. I was a human female stormtrooper and a captain of the First Order. I grew up as a member of a clan on the nuclear-ravaged world of Parnassos. I was a formidable warrior who became the clan's military leader. Seeking passage off-world, I helped the First Order General Hux find his ship. In the process, I betrayed my own brother and the clan. After being rescued, I joined the First Order, abandoning my former life on Parnassos. I am 2 meters tall and weigh 76 kilograms. Who am I?
The Game of Thrones chick. Totally blanking on this. She dies in The Last Jedi. Think of a right chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you get straight away. This is a really easy one.
What's the first letter of her first name?
She only has a name.
What's the first letter?
P.
Second letter?
H.
Oh, Captain Phasma. Yeah, Captain Phasma. Yeah.
Yeah, Phasma. I'm surprised she's 2 meters tall. That's really tall.
She's tall in real life. Gwendolyn Christie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 meters.
She's actually 2 meters tall.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to check? I'll check it for you. Gwendolyn Christie. Okay, she's 1.9.
Okay. That's still really
pretty tall.
That's
yeah.
still really tall.
If she wears the boots with the Captain Phasma, that takes her to 2. Yeah.
But she only weighs 76 kilograms.
Oh, no, I reckon she weighs more than that.
Well, the actor will, but because if you're that tall, you'd have to weigh more than that.
83 kilograms. Oh, it's not far off, actually.
Yeah, that's light.
Yeah.
For someone that tall.
She must be pretty muscly.
All right. That brings us to the end of this episode, the last Star Wars movie in this sequel trilogy.
I don't think we've never rubbished a movie this hard on the podcast.
I think the Crimes of Grindelwald one. You were nice on that one though.
Yeah.
But we were going pretty hard at that one.
I've never rubbished a movie this hard.
Yeah. Oh, The Nun? We smashed that
The
one
Nun,
pretty hard.
I don't know. I didn't rubbish it that hard because Basker was kind of rooting for it a bit. But I could have rubbished that a bit more. But saying that, I feel bad rubbishing movies because people work for years on this shit.
Yeah.
And
and that being said, this is still not that bad. Like, it's not as bad as The Nun.
No,
The
it's
Nun
not
is
Nun.
miles worse than this.
Yes. It's like, look, people worked hard on it. It's still good. Yeah.
Like, you could, there's still
merit in watching it. Yeah.
And it's there's parts of it that are still well made. So yeah.
And I'm sure all the people that worked on it were
amazing.
They probably worked really hard on it. So no one like slacked off.
Yeah.
Except maybe the writers. They did.
Yeah. All right. If people want to get in touch with us, how do they go about it?
So we've got our email at cognitiverecalibrationpodcast@gmail.com, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Cognitive Recalibration, except I think Twitter's at C Recalibration.
We've actually been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram and Twitter, so please do follow us on our social
Maybe
media.
we'll do another poll on Twitter. That was popular.
That was very popular. So, so we put one out for your favorite superhero movie of 2019 because we're coming to the end of the year.
Maybe we'll do least favorite superhero movie.
There's really only one option, probably. I mean, I can put all the same options again.
Or maybe just least favorite movie.
Twitter only allows 4 options. So for those of you asking why I didn't have Shazam on there, it's because I couldn't put it on there.
Shazam should have been on there. I would have taken Captain Marvel out and put Shazam on.
There's some people are very passionate about Captain Marvel, so I had to kind of put it on there. It's also like the 4th highest grossing movie of this year.
Captain Marvel? Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I'll see if I can get more options on the poll somehow.
Dark Phoenix.
I think it's the worst that has to be on there for sure.
That is the worst. I don't think we need a poll for that. It's just the worst comic book movie.
It's clearly the worst. Yeah. And if you've got time, please do give us a review on iTunes because that makes us more discoverable on search engines. But I think that's all we had. We've got probably only a couple more episodes left in this year. I think we're going to do maybe 3 more. So we're going to do one Christmas one. We're going to do one best of worst of 2019. We might chuck in best of the decade as well in that episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Got to watch every movie in the decade then.
Yeah, we've got some work to do. And we still got to watch Jumanji and Cats and Jojo Rabbit. So
I just read some reviews for Cats before and I know if I can do it. I don't know if I can. I genuinely might need to walk out of the movie.
Well, let's see what happens with that one. All right then. So thanks for listening, everyone. And until the next episode, see you later.
See ya.